next week. All right. Hello, welcome to the April 8th, 2025 LSP board meeting. I'm Diane Baxter, Chair of the LSP board. As always, the board encourages active participation. If a member of the public would like to participate in the meeting, please type your question in the chat. And Chris will let you speak or pass on your question, I guess is what he'll do. I encourage all board members to turn their cameras on and ensure your cell phone is in silent mode. I'll now proceed with roll call to establish who from the board is participating. David Austin.
Here.
Gail Batchelder.
Here.
Kathy Campbell.
Here.
Craig Ellis.
Here.
Kirk Franklin. It's not here. Greg McBride. No, not here. Paul McKinley. He's not here.
No, probably not there.
Deirdre Manoyo.
Oh, Greg just hopped on.
Oh, we're just doing roll call, Greg.
McBride is here.
So Greg McBride is now here.
No, up.
Okay. Let's see. Paul McKinley, Deirdre Manoyo, Jamie Smith,
Present.
and Diane Baxter is also present.
McBride is here also.
Oh, yeah, I got you, Greg.
Thank you.
Thanks. All right. Why don't we just go around the room quickly here to establish who is here in person? Maybe with you, Terry. Start with you.
Sure. I'm Terry Wood. I'm the executive director of the board.
Matt Line.
Chris Borges.
Diane Baxter.
David Austin.
All right, and Chris, any others participating online?
Online, we have Brian Roden, Christopher Gill, Lori McCarthy, Matthew Hackman, Rebecca Buswell, and Wendy Rundle.
Okay, and also Natasha Dix.
Yes.
We can't forget Natasha. All right. So we have quorum. We can proceed. First up is the Continuing Education Committee. I'd like to turn it over to David Austin.
Sure. I'm starting the Continuing Ed Committee meeting at 12:06. There's no changes to the agenda. Any comments or edits on the meeting minutes from last month?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any further discussions? Approving is a yes. Jamie?
Yes.
Craig? Craig Ellis?
Yes.
David's a yes. Diane?
Yes.
Gail?
Yes.
Kathy?
Yes.
And Greg?
Yes.
Great. For new business, there's 4 new courses and 1 reapproval. The first one is an LSPA 2-hour credit live webinar and future on demand on PIT meetings, which sounds great. I don't think there's been a course on public involvement plans in a while. Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Second.
Any other discussions from the public or the board? Yes is approving the course offering. Jamie?
Yes.
Craig?
Yes.
David's a yes. Diane?
Yes.
Gail?
Yes.
Kathy,
Yes.
and Greg.
Yes.
Great. The next one I'm recused from, but I can do the roll call at the end if there's a motion.
Okay, I'll give this one. This is EBC of New England brought a course titled Regenerative or Sustainable Remediation, an EBC Site Remediation and Development webinar. It's for 2 technical credits. It's a live webinar. It actually took place March 18th from 9 to 11. Could I get
A
a
second.
motion?
Oh, a motion to approve.
Second.
All right, and I'll do roll call. Gail,
Yes.
Kathy,
Yes.
Craig,
Yes.
Greg,
Yes.
Jamie,
Yes.
and Diane is a yes.
Great, thank
Okay,
you.
back to you, David.
And then the third one is also another offering from the EBC. They did submit the request after the event, and it was not submitted by a DEP official, so although DEP officials attended, it was their leadership briefing. They're looking for one non-DEP regulatory credit. I make a motion to approve.
Second.
Any other discussions? A yes is approving. Jamie,
Yes.
Craig,
Yes.
David's a yes. Diane,
Yes,
Gail,
Yes.
Kathy,
Yes.
and Greg.
Yes.
Great. The fourth request, from Rhode Island, Hot Topics in Soil Management for Environmental Professionals, 2025. It seems to me that it would be pretty applicable and worthwhile for LSPs. It's 4 technical credits in person in May.
Motion to approve.
second,
Any other discussions? So a yes is approving. Jamie,
Yes.
Craig,
Yes.
David's a yes. Diane,
yes,
Gail,
Yes.
Kathy,
Yes.
and Greg.
Yes.
Great, thank you. And then there's a reapproval for PFAS remediation roundtable as part of the LSPA symposium next week. There's an instructor change. We still have to go through the approval process, right?
Yes.
Make a motion to reapprove it.
Second.
Any other discussions? Comments? So a yes is reapproving the offering. Jamie,
Yes.
Greg,
Yes.
David's a yes. Diane,
yes,
Gail,
Yes.
Kathy,
Yes.
and Greg.
Yes.
Great. The next meeting will be May 13th, and Matt, you want to give your little spiel?
For the course providers, you'll get your attendance forms in the next day or two when our website will be updated with the course listings for any LSPs looking to attend. Thank you.
Thank you. So, I'm ending the meeting at 12:11.
all right. Next up is the Professional Conduct Committee meeting. I'd like to turn it over to Kirk or Jamie.
I can do it. We'll call the Professional Conduct Committee meeting to order, 12:12. Are there any announcements or additions or changes to the agenda? Hearing none, we'll review the draft minutes from March 11th. Are there any comments on the draft minutes or a motion to approve as written?
Motion to approve,
Second. Okay, roll call vote to approve yes is approving the minutes. Diane,
yes,
David,
Yes?
Craig, Yep. Kathy,
Yes.
Gail,
Yes.
Greg,
Yes.
and Jamie's a yes. The minutes are approved as written. Move on to old business. Terry, if I could turn it over to you for updates on the active cases.
Sure. So the first case on the list, 18C01, that was settled with an administrative consent order. It's just on the list because the LSP will voluntarily surrender his or her license on April 30th. The second case, 18C02, the CRT has been actively meeting and is in the midst of continuing to review documents. The third case, 24C02, the CRT is meeting. There was a meeting last Friday, and there's another meeting scheduled for later in the month. And that's it.
Very good. Is there any new business to discuss? Okay, hearing none. Next meeting will be May 13th. Hybrid and in person and remote. And I'll adjourn Professional Conduct Committee 12/14.
Wow, that was
Thanks,
fast.
Jamie.
All right, and that brings us to the board meeting. I'll call to order at 12:14. Any announcements? Terry, no?
Nope.
The agenda, any comments on the agenda? Hearing none. Review of draft minutes. Does anyone have comments on the draft minutes from the March 11th meeting? All right, I will take a roll to approve the minutes. David,
Yes,
Gail,
Yes,
Kathy,
Yes.
Craig,
Yes.
Greg,
Yes.
Jamie,
Yes.
and Diane is a yes. Okay, decisions regarding licensing of applicants. Matt, could you give us the ARP summary?
You want to open the docket for that? Here, we have one new candidate to consider today, Christopher Gill, number 4534. ARP number 348, which was members Baxter, McKinley, and Batchelder. The background, this applicant was previously an LSP. The license had lapsed in 2022. Applicant is a standard track candidate, college degree in 1990, and had claimed 11 plus years of relevant professional experience. The ARP met on March 25th to review and discuss the application. The ARP felt that the applicant had met the requirements for relevant professional experience with examples of assessment and spill cleanup plans, risk characterization work, and independent decision-making. The professional references further supported the applicant's work experience and relevant professional experience. With that, the ARP recommended that Mr. Gill be approved to take the exam.
All right. Anyone have comments on that?
Make a motion to approve the recommendations of the ARP.
All right.
Second.
Okay, yes is approving. David?
yes. Actually, I was recused. But,
All right.
sorry.
Recuse. Gail,
yes,
Kathy,
Yes.
Craig,
Yes.
Greg,
Yes.
Jamie,
Yes.
and Diane is a yes. All right, next is renewal applications. Risk, could you get the dockets on screen? Okay, the first docket is one person who had a 90-day extension, Dennis Gustra.
Motion to approve docket number 1.
Second.
All right, yes is approving. David Austin,
Yes.
Gail Batchelder,
Yes.
Kathy,
Yes.
Craig,
Yes.
Greg,
Yes.
Paul. Oh, sorry, Paul isn't here. There's Deirdre, Jamie,
Yes.
and Diane is a yes. Okay, the second docket is 5 people. These were standard renewal in April, and there'll be expiration April in 3 years.
Motion to approve docket number 2.
Second.
All right, and yes is approving. David,
Yes.
Gail,
Yes.
Kathy,
Yes.
Craig,
Yes.
Greg,
Yes.
Jamie,
Yes.
and Diane is a yes. Is there one more? Yeah. Okay, the third, this one, the registration had lapsed. And now the renewal will be through 4/30/2028. Okay.
Motion to approve docket 3.
Second.
Second. All right, yes is approving. David,
Yes.
Gail,
Yes.
Kathy,
Yes.
Craig,
Yes.
Greg,
Yes.
Jamie,
Yes.
and Diane is a yes. And I think that's all for dockets.
One more.
Oh, is there one more?
Late breaking docket this morning.
Okay.
90.
All right.
Extension.
For the late breaking, so this, they had requested an extension. Okay, so the new, okay, so the extension had been from last year.
Oh, no, they were
No,
set to
it's just
expire April 30th, but they need
this
90
one.
days. They don't.
Oh, they need 90 days more, okay.
Motion to approve.
But the expiration date there, oh, expiration date, not renewal date, okay. Sorry about that.
Right.
All right,
Second.
so yes, Kenneth Lentil. Motion.
There's been a motion and it's been a second
There's been a second.
for docket 4.
I'm a little
That's
slow in
okay.
the uptake
I
today.
was confused by the 2020.
Okay, David,
Yes.
Gail,
Yes.
Kathy,
Yes.
Greg,
Yes.
Greg,
Yes.
Jamie,
Yes.
and Diane, yes. All right, now renewal status report. Matt, can
Yes.
you
Thank you, Diane.
report out?
So there was 12 LSPs on the renewal roster with the April 30th expiration date deadline. We just approved 7 of those moments ago. One person put in their retirement, and the remaining 4 have until April 30th to submit the renewal application. That's it.
All right,
In the past, we've announced the name of the person who's retired. Unless you don't want to do it this time.
That'd be Roseanne Joyce.
all right.
That's for retirement.
Congratulations to Roseanne. All right, other licensing related matters. Matt, could you report out on scheduling of future ARPs?
Before we do that, just the status of ARP's ongoing. We have Matthew Bruno, ARP number 344 with members Franklin, McKinley, and Baxter. That ARP initially met on February 6th. They had requested more information, which we did receive, and we're scheduled to meet later this week to further discuss that application. Matthew Cassane, that's ARP 349, which is members Ellis, Smith, and Manoyo. We're waiting for the 2 final references And then the ARP can schedule the meeting to discuss the full application. Gina Golseth, ARP 347, which is members Campbell, Baxter, and Manoyo. We did receive the last reference form recently, and the ARP will meet within the next 2 weeks to review the full application. So we have 2 new applications that came in recently that will need to get volunteers to serve on the ARP. First one is Nicholas Castingway of CDM Smith and Rob Huning of Rambold Group. So I'm seeking volunteers.
I can take one or both.
I can do it as long as it's okay that I know one person. I mean, I don't have any working relationship, but I know the person.
Yeah, you can do it.
Okay, I can do it.
All right, thanks, Gail.
Greg can help also. I'm one of them.
Thanks, Greg.
Yeah, I can help too if needed.
Thanks, Greg. Thank you. We do have the full application for Nicholas Castingway, so I can send that around in the short term. And Rob Huning, we're still waiting on reference forms.
Oh, wait, where's Rob Puning from?
Rambold?
I can't do that one. Sorry. I mean, I don't know the guy, and it's a gigantic company. I don't know how people feel about that.
I say no.
Yeah, I mean, they have to because we have 4 volunteers, so you could be put on one and not the other.
Yeah, I can. Oh, so I can do Nick's.
Who's the 4th one?
I have Kathy, Gail,
Oh,
Greg,
Kathy,
and
okay.
Greg. Is that right?
If you need a non-LSP, I can do it.
So I'll be on one. I'll do one and not the other.
Okay. I'll figure it out. Thank you all.
Okay.
All right, inactive status report and other matters. Natasha?
Hi, so currently we have 3 listed on inactive status right now. Total number of LSPs would be at 406. For our annual fees report, suspension notices went out April 2nd. Those have a due date of July 2nd. Payments can be made via your ePlace accounts. If payment isn't received by July 2nd, account will be moved to revoked/fees due to failure to pay. As of today, we have a total of 420 who have settled their accounts and currently 1 outstanding. Also, LSPs are encouraged to pay their outstanding balances online. However, we do have a pay by mail option that will include further instructions if you choose that. Thank you.
So the notice went to one person? who
3
hasn't-
people, right?
Yes.
3 people got suspension notices, 2 have paid since they went out on the 2nd.
Okay,
Only 1 hasn't, right?
thank you.
Good, thanks, Natasha.
Mhm.
Okay, examinations. Matt, could you give us the exam committee report?
Yes. So the subject matter experts have been meeting with the psychometrician to complete the technical review process. They met last Wednesday, April 2nd, and will be meeting weekly now to hopefully finish this phase of the process by the end of April. After that is completed, the cut score workshops will follow.
There's no hopefully finish. Yes, we are finishing this month.
Or else, I don't know what we do. We work solidly for the last week or something.
That last session.
Matt, can I just ask, what is the goal for an exam date? Or is it totally up in the air at this point?
I'm a little afraid to answer that.
Yeah, it's up in the
Well,
air.
that's why I asked a goal. What are we
Well,
trying to do?
We're
Knowing,
not sure how long the cut score workshop process will take,
Hmm.
right? So hopefully by late summer, early fall, that seems realistic.
From what we have left and having gone through it once, I would say fall is fine.
Yeah, I've never been through the cut score workshop process, so I'm just guessing.
Do we have all the volunteers lined
think
up for the
so.
cut score workshop?
Yes.
And how many people end up, taking the test or doing the
There's six,
Six for the subject matter experts for the cut score workshop.
including a newly appointed LSP to round out
Somebody
the
who
experience
just
level, yeah.
took the class, okay, took the exam. All right, continuing education committee.
Oh, yeah, we met
David.
today and, we approved the meeting minutes from last month. We approved 4 new offerings. We reapproved an existing one. And, we're meeting again in May.
All right, Jamie, could you report out the professional conduct committee meeting?
Yeah, we didn't take any action other than approving the minutes, and we reviewed the active cases briefly. No further action by the professional conduct committee.
Okay, thank you. Application review subcommittee. Terry?
Yeah, I can give an update. So the subcommittee met once about a week or so ago. And at that meeting came up with some ideas for amending the application forms. So Matt and I have been working on creating red lines of the forms with and with comments of things that we might want to change. And we'll be sending that out to the members of the subcommittee within the next week or so. And the subcommittee is next scheduled to meet the morning of the May board meeting, right before the board meeting.
Okay, great, thank you. Regulations committee update?
I can give an update on the
Or
proposed
regulations?
regulatory amendments. I heard the beginning of last week that the package had moved out of EEA and it had moved to Administration and Finance and the Governor's Office. Because the proposed amendments aren't very really substantive or major, it can be a presumptive approval to administration and finance. So it's really, the issue is how long it's gonna be at the governor's office, which we don't know, but it's moving along.
All right, good. Terry, do you have an update on personnel budget and fees?
No, nothing to report.
Okay, status of board member vacancies. I think there's no change there. Either one vacancy remains on the environmental seat. Number 15, other business. Anyone have any other business? Okay, no other business. Our next meeting will be May 13th and adjourn at 12:31.
Woof.
Wow.
Efficient,
Okay.
love
I'm
it.
gonna actually make the meeting that I always miss in Connecticut because of,
Oh, good.
so that's good.
And it stops snowing, we can leave.
All right. Well, thanks
Thanks,
everyone.
Thanks,
and-
everyone. See you next
Okay,
time.
Right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
See you later.
Good meeting.